So I just saw The Batman, and guess what? It's pretty good, you guys. I've been waiting for this one since the trailer dropped in August of 2020. That is a really long time from trailer to film, and I'm glad to say this one actually really did it for me. I want to kick this off by saying this is 100% the most believable Batman film to exist. It's not corny, it's solid, and vibes are on fucking point. It took me like 10 to 20 minutes to set myself in the vibe of the Batman. At first, it felt like a movie saying, hey, look how edgy I am, whoa! With its gothic themes, stoic delivery, with darkly lit atmospheres and characters. I think you only see daylight like 3 times. It really locks in the mood of this Gotham. Gotham is incredibly believable, and that's due to the heavy New York City inspiration. Come on, guys. Gotham Square Garden. No, but for real, there's loads of shots that just hold on the city and the life within. It kind of reminded me of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood when they would like flaunt how good the city looked for the 1969 aesthetic. Phenomenal world building and very reminiscent of Joker and how Gotham is just a shit place. Everything here felt incredibly realistic. Like, if this was in real life, I wouldn't question it. Like, there's no flying Batman.
Hey, I can fly!
He has a wingsuit. The Batmobile isn't a tank, it's a muscle car. Just look at the way he runs. Having the movie take place in 6 days adds a nice perspective to the story. I'm a sucker for movies that take place in a short amount of time, most notably Superbad. I'd like to add that the sound design left me in awe at how much immersion was happening. And we can't talk about sound without talking about the wonderful score by Michael Giacchino. I think he just killed it. It was haunting in all the right ways. It's a shame that the theater I was in was just not loud enough. I would consider myself a lucky foe since I bought my tickets early, so I got the chance to see this movie in D-Box. Every punch had so much emphasis, and I couldn't help but smile at Batman beating the ever-living shit out of goons. What can I say? I'm a man who likes my solid action scenes, and everything was just on point here. You know that Batmobile chase in the trailer? I couldn't have been more exhilarated. I was just gripping the arms of my chair, leaning forward and smiling. D-Box seats made me feel as though I was in the car. I just didn't want it to end. The third act made me want to stand up, scream, and hit someone in the face. I was so hyped up. The few fights you do get in the movie are completely earned because they're not abundant, and I love that it lets you appreciate it more by giving you a chance to breathe, by giving you well-shot, well-acted scenes in between. I think the Batman is going to get a couple Oscar noms without question. The movie feels smart too. The flow of information kept me following the investigation alongside the characters really well. This is just a damn good detective story with lots, but yet great, twists and turns. And it would not work as well if it not for the aura actors. I'm quite fond of all these previous works from this fantastic cast. They really all bring it here. Most notably Colin Farrell. He's essentially doing a Robert De Niro impression.
I got you! I got you!
But I can't complain. The Penguin felt like a real character to me. Same with the Riddler. I love that we can actually have a solid Riddler for once, and wonderfully brought to life by Paul Dano, who I'm just quite fond of. Why is he so good at playing crazy people? He felt incredibly real and just straight up horrifying. I can't talk about performances without talking about Robert Pattinson though. I like how he didn't even attempt to do a Batman voice. Like, I would just not take this shit seriously if Rob tried to talk like Christian Bale. If you told me this was a British bloke, I would have looked at you like you were crazy. I did find his Batman persona and Bruce Wayne's life are sort of blended into one, which I think is kind of the point since like his life is not separate. His vigilante life is really taking a toll on his real life. It was only 80% Batman and 20% Bruce Wayne. That line is kind of blurred because they feel very alike. I did really like seeing him outside the suit, and I wanted more. And more of him with Alfred, to make that connection stronger. He's closer to Commissioner Gordon and has a better relationship with him than his remaining family member. That relationship is solid, and so is his with Selena Kyle. That's basically all I can say without getting into spoilers, so please skip to the time to avoid them. I cannot wait another second. So as I was saying, I wish the relationship between Alfred and Bruce had developed a bit more because Alfred's fake out death didn't hit as hard as it should have. That's a bit nitpicky, but I like it when he has at least someone he cares about. I like my Alfreds, and I wish there was more. There's lots of neat little moments along the way that just got me so freaking excited. I like the part where Bruce is just talking about how terrified people are of him.
The sky. It's not just a call. It's a warning.
And we hear his boots in the shadows, and then he comes out and proceeds to just go full fucking whack shit on people. His cool little blue flame illuminates the alley to signal the car chase. That's a really cool touch. When he blew up the roof at the end and jumped down with his cape flapping and made the little bat symbol, that was super sick. It had a cool little musical cue too. That was very reminiscent of like older Batman movies. The guys in front of me lost their shit. This was like their No Way Home. And all the moments with Commissioner Gordon, icing on the cake. That first little scene was so cold and got me hooked to the story. It introduces the Riddler in an ominous way. He's like stalking the mayor. He eventually gets into his house while the mayor's watching TV in the dark. And when the mayor moves, you see him standing there, just like completely silent. And his glasses reflecting the light from the TV. And they finally caught the Riddler. I like how he was just mentally not there and all sorts of insane. The first thing he says when he's unmasked and arrested is, "I ordered pumpkin pie." There's so many solid moments that if I were to address them all right here, right now, I'd be here for like 20 plus minutes. I think that there was so many shock moments while solving the investigation, like, oh, look how corrupt this person is. Oh my god, what a bad person. And they do these little exposure segments and twists like 4 different times. I was pretty drained by the finale, but not enough that I wasn't invested. Oh yeah, and lastly, I just want to throw out that the Batman villains that they could have picked to tease for the next installment, they just had to go with Joker. Come on, man. There's like 20 different versions of this character, and we just got Joker. You could have picked someone else. I'm not mentally ready for another one. Scoring this one, I'm going to give it a solid 9.6 out of 10. Not as good as The Dark Knight. You can't hate this movie, though. Definitely worth a watch. See you next time, guys, and thanks for stopping for a thought.